had a couple of questions come in recently on the Synod on Synodality. So I'm going to try and address both these in this video. One person has asked, how can I make sure my voice is heard in the upcoming Synod on Synodality? While another person has asked what my hopes are in how our diocese responds to this Synod. There is indeed much interest shown in the exercise of synodality right now in the Catholic Church, not only here, but around the world. To answer these questions, I feel I should say a few initial things about synods in general. First of all, this is not a new thing in the Church. Synods have existed since the days of the Apostles, shortly after the coming of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. In the Christian Church, Pentecost is all about the coming of the Holy Spirit. The followers of Jesus were doubtful and confused about the dying and rising of Jesus Christ, and then his ascension into heaven. Jesus promised them the Holy Spirit, who would be their advocate, the one who would give them the spiritual gifts needed for their faithful discipleship and the evangelization of the nations. Throughout the Church's history, she has always had to deal with significant questions. Who really was Jesus Christ? Or I should say, who is Jesus Christ? What does he ask of his followers? How should we deal with a changing world while holding to truths that we believe to be unchanging? How should we bring the gospel message to new circumstances and unfamiliar cultures? The very first synod in the Church is what we refer to as the Council of Jerusalem. The issue there was, is Christianity a branch or sect of Judaism, or is it a very different religion? In other words, if a non-Jew, a Gentile, wanted to be baptized and become a Christian, would he have to be circumcised first and follow other Jewish laws? The leaders of the Church in Jerusalem met, discussed the issue, and in prayer decided that Christians are distinct from Jews. They needn't follow the Mosaic laws. These sorts of meetings have taken place throughout the Church's history. Bishops from local churches or dioceses would meet to pray over and decide what is best for the Church in their region. Another word for these gatherings is councils. Larger gatherings are called ecumenical councils, as they are meant to gather all bishops. The Council of Trent or Vatican II are good examples of these universal synods. Behind this is the belief that when church leaders meet prayerfully, seeking the way forward, the Spirit leads them. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, Jesus said, there will I be among you. The great difference in what Pope Francis is calling us to do now for this synod is he wants not only bishops to be engaged in the process, but the whole Church. Not only bishops, but priests and deacons too, monks and nuns, husbands and wives, teachers and nurses, students and factory workers, farmers and engineers. The Holy Father is inviting the voices of those who may feel alienated from their church, and even non-Catholic Christians. He is trusting that even those who are on the periphery, the edges of Christian society, but who remain people of goodwill, may have some wisdom to share because their lives are also touched by the Holy Spirit. A couple of things to be aware of here. First, this is a call to speak in truth and humility. Our listening gatherings are to be moments of prayer. This is not about trying to influence others with my opinion. This is not a parliament. Nobody's going to vote on anything. If we believe that the Spirit of God guides the life and experience of sincere people, then we will all benefit to hear about one another's life experiences and reflections. There is a portion of this exercise that is for bishops who will gather in Rome in the fall of 2023. Not all bishops will be there, but all bishops have a place in the process. I have to listen to hear the varied voices and shared insights within our Archdiocese. I and all bishops are already and customarily listening to the experiences and insights of others as we make prudent and hopefully wise decisions. I have my consultors, the Curia, the Council of Priests, the Archdiocesan Pastoral Council and Archdiocesan Finance Council. I am presently putting together a council to assist me in Indigenous matters. In the Catholic Church, bishops have a great deal of authority and responsibility. We need the wisdom and insights of others to guide the faith community well. So to the question of what my own hopes and expectations are about our local experience for this synod, I honestly don't expect a concrete proposal or action to be produced by this exercise. As I'm understanding our Holy Father's will in the matter, I would like to see groups of our parishioners gather and reflect together on what it means to walk together, to try and listen to the Holy Spirit's promptings, to try to grow in grace and wisdom. In other words, how to be church. If I hear parishioners say that they found this experience helped them to grow in faith, hope, and charity, for that alone, I will be grateful. And to return to the first question, how can I make sure that my voice is heard in the upcoming synod? It is important for people's voices to be heard, to be sure. But in the true nature of synodality, it is more vital to hear, as a community of faith, the Holy Spirit speaking through our experiences and our collective wisdom. I hope in the many listening sessions happening across our Archdiocese right now, we are not only hoping to have our own voices heard, but to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit speaking in the hearts of each one of us. Until next time.